Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Big Rich, DeeDots Producers Corner, episode number 9. Today we pretty much going to talk about how you can take the NNXT Drumkit patches, route those to individual mix channels inside Reason 6. Alright, the reason why you want to do this is to have more dynamic control and more EQ control over your each of your drum samples inside that NNXT patch. Alright, now the first thing you want to do is create an NNXT patch of its own. Alright, now you're just going to pull up instruments, NNXT Advanced Sampler. Alright, now next thing you want to do is browse for an NNXT drum kit. Alright, now I'm already ready to go. I'm going to just pick something random. Alright, and the next thing you will want to do is make sure all your drum sounds are coming out, of course. Alright, now we got drum sounds, and pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to raise up the volume on this, because obviously the volume is real low. So we're going to just pump the volume all the way up. Alright, so we got drum sounds. Alright, the next thing you want to do is drop down the NNXT remote editor window. Alright, and pretty much what that we're going to do right there is going to show you all your drum samples that you have inside the NNXT. Alright, now the next thing you want to do is select this button right here, which is the select zone via MIDI. Pretty much what this is primary function is to let you know as the user whatever key you press on your keyboard or with your pads is going to show you what drum sample is actually being triggered. Okay, so if we hit a random key like this, you know what I'm saying, that drum sound is going to show up on this editor window, and it's going to show you, say, hey, it's me being triggered, you know what I'm saying? So let's hit that button and let's hit that same drum sound. And as you see, you scroll all the way down, or you look all the way down, it's going to be this tom drum sample. Now if we hit the key right next to it, it's going to show this one right above it, and so forth and so on. Excuse me. Now, as you see these two bars, or these two little blocks on top of each other. Those actually represent two drum samples in different velocity modes. So, for example, this sound right here is a snare sound. Now, when we hit it real hard, you hear it. Full velocity and everything. When we hit it very quietly, watch what happens. It plays the other block, you know what I'm saying, right above it. And if we hit it hard, and that's what they call multi-sample, multi-velocity, all that other crap, you know what I'm saying, inside the NNXT. When you start getting onto the advanced stuff with it, you can actually take different drum samples, have the same drum sample, put it on the same key map, and, you know what I'm saying, set it where every time you hit it in a certain velocity, it will be triggered in that velocity that you're playing on your keyboard controller. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's let's send this kick drum right here onto a mixer channel. You understand what I'm saying? Now, once you find your sound that you want, which is, we're gonna use this kick. Alright, now we want to go all the way to the right. You see this little out in the knob? That's actually representing what audio path it's using. Okay, now if you don't know, I'm about to show you something. If you tab around to the back, you're going to see a section that's got a whole bunch of vacant holes. That didn't sound right. But you know what I'm saying? You're going to see this section is called the audio output section. And it's going to have 16 different holes, you know what I'm saying, that you could choose from. Now, by default, 1 and 2 is the actual left and right of the particular, of this particular instrument, the NNXT. All right. Let me drink some water right quick. All right. Now, we still got other sounds we want to audition and figure out where we want to put those. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tab back around to the front, and we want to take this kick and we're gonna put it on 15 and 16. Okay. All right. Now we put it on 15 and 16 because we want to put this kick on a different mix channel, but yet and still have the chance to hear the other sounds, if that makes any sense to you. That's why the other sounds are defaulted on 1 and 2. You can move other sounds around within those 16 audio pads. You know what I'm saying? So once you move that kick or any other sound to 15 and 16 or any other number that you want, we could put it on 3 and 4 to make it simple for the slow folks. So we're gonna put it on 3 and 4, for the slow folks. What next thing you want to do is create a new mix channel, okay? So we're gonna create a new mix channel. Bam. All right. Next thing you want to do is name your mix channel, because you want to stay organized as you do this. When you start doing more more drum samples or more signal routing, I like to call it. All right. Now we got this one kick, right? All right, cool. All right, now what we're going to do is tab around to the back again. We're going to take 3 and 4, the wire, 3 and 4. You see it? It's wiggling, baby. It's wiggling, baby. We're going to hook that up into the input of the kick mixer channel. All right, see the kick mixer channel right here in the input. Bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? Now you actually have that kick going through the actual mixer channel that you label kick. All right, now I'm going to go to the mixer window and watch what we do. Now, as you see, the kick is actually on its own channel. You have the choice to, run it through compressors, gate it, EQ it, insert effects on it, send that kick to a reverb or any other type of effect module and do whatever the hell you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love doing this method. Okay, now let's get a little funky. We're going to do another sound. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to the rack window and let's find another sound. We already got the kick. All right, and let's take this clap. All right, cool. Now the clap, it only has, one sound. All right, cool. What we're going to do, we're going to take that clap and we're going to move it to 5 and 6, okay? We're going to create a new mixer channel. All right, cool. We're going to name that clap. Clap, all right? We're going to tab around to the back. Now I'm going to show you that backwards way. Take the input and drag that up to 5 and 6. Bam. You know what I'm saying? You already got a clap. And as you see right there in my VU meter, so I don't have to tab to the mix window. We can see it. All right. Now we have a snare. We have a snare channel. We have 2 snare sounds that's sharing the same key but in different velocities. So let's playing that soft, and we strike it real hard. It's gonna go to the higher velocity that's actually mapped. Now what you want to do is highlight both of them. Okay, we highlighted both of them, right? Let's do that again. All right, what we're gonna do? Highlight both of them. All right, and the next thing we want to do, when you highlight both of them, move them to the desired audio output path. All right, which is gonna be 7 and 8. All right, what you're gonna do? You're gonna create you a mix channel. All right, once you create that mix channel, you're gonna call it snare, or let's just say snare 1. Okay. All right, and I misspelled that. What we're gonna call that? Snatre. You know what I'm saying? So once you rename the snare, you tab to the back and take that input pad, put it on 7 and 8. All right, cool. And you got your snare. Now watch. We highlighted those 2 snares, right? Because they're sharing the same velocity. They're sharing the same triggered key on the key map. Now watch this. Quiet. Loud. But we still on one mixer channel, even though we triggering 2 different samples. Cool, right? And the same thing if you wanted to put like a all toms on one channel, same thing. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, now let's find a toms. Okay. All right, we got one tom. Let's scroll down. All right, now as you see right here in the mixer edit window, you see tom, 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 tom. All right, cool. Now the good thing about toms is in NNXT Drumkit, 9 times out of 10, it's probably already going to be paying accordingly to the Drumkit in mind. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much what it is, if you have 4 toms are pretty much set up in on a drum kit to move from left to right. You understand what I'm saying? And whoever developed the patch, you know, they probably put the lowest tom on the left, and then so forth until they get to the higher tom, and it's going to end up to the right. You know what I'm saying? Giving you that, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's just giving you and spreading the toms out in the stereo field. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Now, if we wanted to take, oh, should I say 5 of these toms and put those on one mixer channel, we could do that. So what you do is pretty much look at what is being triggered, highlight all of those toms, okay? Till you got all of them highlighted. All right. Next thing you do is move that output knob to 9 and 10. All right. And the next thing you do, make a mixer channel. You know what I'm saying? Always right click inside the black. All right. Or you can do it. You can bring up the mixer channel in another way. And we're gonna call these toms. All right. Now we're gonna tab around to the back. And we pretty much gonna take that input and hook it up to 9 and 10. Boom. Just like that, folks. All right. Now we have each of the toms coming out of this one mixer channel. Cool, right? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now we can, you know what I'm saying, we can actually treat this tom channel as actually tom group. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, say, or we can apply compression to all the toms and stuff like that. So that's kind of like the advantage of, you know what I'm saying, taking the NNXT and going very, very far with this. If you wanted to. Now, of course, you only limited to, let's just say, 8 stereo pairs. So we can only route these to 8 stereo tracks, you know what I'm saying? Or we could route each sound, depending on how it's set up in the NNXT, you know what I'm saying? You can route it to 16 mono tracks, you feel me? But the good thing about it is, you know what I'm saying, with the audio path, you know, you can have one or more sounds going to the same audio path, which is pretty cool. And if you're going to do that, it'll be best if each of the drum samples are sharing the same element in the audio spectrum, you know what I'm saying? So if it's all toms, then you can put it all on one track. If it's all kicks, you can put them all on one track. The only bad part about that is volume adjustment, which you're gonna have to make the initial volume adjustment on that. So let's just say I got all the toms, right? If I got to turn one of those toms down, I'm just gonna press on that tom and, you know what I'm saying, turn it down from the amp envelope gain, you know what I'm saying, section. And that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? How you take the drum sounds out of the NNXT, routing those to mixer channels, and taking a step further in your mixing process for your drums. This has been another video tutorial being brought to you by Big Rich. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to come up with a video pretty soon and show y'all how y'all could take each of your pads and put those on individual mixer channels, because I probably say about a good 75% of y'all are probably using the cone and you're coming out of the default 1 and 2, and you're controlling all your volume and your pan in this little section right here. Well, friends, somebody hook me up and I'm gonna hook y'all up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show y'all how to do that by putting this bad boy on a drum bus and having each pan on each of this mixer channels and having kind of like the same setup as the NNXT. And the NNXT example I showed y'all applies for the red drum too. The same way you hooked it up to the 14x2 mixer is gonna work this way too. Again, you know what I'm saying? This is another tutorial being brought to you boy by Big Rich, Joint Chief of Staff Productions, co-host on DeeDots Producers Corner. Shout out to the host of DeeDots Producers Corner, D-Dot. Salute. You know what I'm saying? The big homie Trey, co-host on DeeDots Producers Corner. Salute. You know what I'm saying? The man behind the plan, the man that's running everything, chosen over there at Icebreaker Radio. Salute. And all the Icebreaker people in the organization, salute. You know what I'm saying? And all the Joint Chief of Staff Productions members, salute. You know what I'm saying? This is your boy Big Rich and I'm signing out. Peace.